Welcome to The Crooked Climb with Suzanne and Denise. Life and business are not linear. Let's get moving with honest, reliable, and unbiased information you can use to master life and business. We've all experienced life's ups and downs. In this show, Suzanne and Denise are committed to moving onward, upward, and most of all, learning from the biggest challenges we face in life and business. Join in the conversations with experts in their respective fields of health, wellness, personal development, fitness, and fun. And that's not all. Your path to self-mastery starts here. No climb is a straight line. Goals are achievable with clear targets. The ascent begins now.
Hey, hello, my friend. How are you?
Life is good. Life is good.
Awesome.
How you doing?
Welcome to The Crooked Climb, everyone. I'm Suzanne Taylor-King, and this is my co-host, Denise Stegall.
Hi, everyone.
On our show today, and every day, you can expect real, honest solutions to everyday challenges you may experience in your life and business. And we really love showing you examples and concrete tools you can use, simple things you can do daily. Nourish, move, and be. When you do that, everything else comes together. So today's episode is going to be a little different. We're going organic today, which is totally a trend. So why not on The Crooked Climb? We are going to talk about where we've been in the last year and where we are going with The Crooked Climb, with Suzanne Taylor-King, with Denise Stegall, and the Living Healthy list. So check us out. Our previous episodes on Transformation Talk Radio, Apple, Spotify, Google, anywhere you listen to your podcast to get up to date on all of our guests that we've had over the last year and all of our amazing content. And our new app that's being put out by KSM Media Group. Super exciting. You can go and download that app now at the App Store. All right. Hello, what's new and exciting, Denise?
Cool, new and exciting. Winter arrived. It snowed this morning. Oh my God.
No.
Hence the sweater. And I'm looking at you with your beautiful tan. And I'm like, it's cold out there. I got a turtleneck on.
Wow, girl, it's like 65 here in New Jersey today. I don't understand.
Yeah, I live a lot further north.
Well, my last week in Jamaica, you commented on my tan. I still feel super rejuvenated from a week barefoot in the beach, in the sand, in the ocean, just spending time with family and friends. Totally disconnected from social media, podcast, email. My phone didn't ring once, probably because it was still on airplane mode. It was really fun.
That's awesome. I think it is so important that we do that. We need to disconnect, and we need to disconnect more regularly than we do. I mean, how often do you do that? You go on vacation twice a year, right? So 2 weeks out of the year, you disconnect. I have gotten to a point where I try to do it on the weekends. And I know that frustrates people because they'll text me and they're like, hey, I left you a message. I'm like, if it's Friday after 6 o'clock, guess what? I'll get back to you on Monday. Because
and I do this exact same. Now this weekend we have plans on Saturday, which will involve some, phone messages back and forth, but there's no work stuff or social media stuff or, anything that's more important than the downtime, the family time, the friend time. Because for so many years at the beginning of my business, I neglected all those things. So I'm not willing to do that anymore.
Yep. And I know, well, obviously you and I chat quite a bit. So I know you had a kind of a big epiphany while you were unplugged and kind of chilling. So that's kind of, part of where our conversation is going to go today, because I think both of us have been working on these epiphanies, each of us for our own businesses, and the sun just came out.
Nice. I saw that. Just
cool.
That was kind of cool.
Yeah. Sorry, squirrel. But I think
Done.
The epiphany.
Yeah. I love it.
Ah. But maybe that was it. Maybe that was another epiphany.
Yeah.
But I think it's really important for all of us to know, whether you're talking about your life, your business, your career, where we think we're on a path, right? This is the path that we're on. And we know very well on the crooked climb that path is never straight. Last year, you and I had, we thought we were on a path and we were moving forward. But then at some point, things started to kind of detour. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. I mean, I think, at least for me, there's been so much clarity in the last year, 2 years, in what I actually do as a coach, as a mentor for other coaches, um, as a business coach, as a life coach. And it all kind of came together just through my own self discovery, working with a coach, having some assessments done about my why, what, and how. And I really discovered that almost everything I do is mindset oriented, is how your thoughts create your reality, how your thoughts are creating your business, your life. And it was the same way when I was a fitness trainer, when I was doing nutrition with clients. It always came down to, what is your thinking about food? What is your mindset about cooking? What is your mindset about exercise? How do you feel about exercise? And I really realized I was making coaching and finding clients much more difficult than it actually is. And I'll just use this week's example because it's a perfect example, that if you can help someone, it doesn't really matter if it's life or if it's business or if it's nutrition or if it's sleep. If you're a little farther along than that person you're offering coaching to, there's no stigma in offering help. Doesn't matter how much that other person is more successful than you, makes more money than you, is older than you, is younger than you. None of that matters if you're selling the solution to their problems.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was really powerful. And it keeps getting driven home to me every week. This week, I gave away 5 coaching sessions this week, which is a lot for me. Usually only do 3, but some great people came along this week, worked out. And those 5 people all asked me, how do I work with you?
Okay.
That's what happens when I show up without an agenda, without sales in mind, without, oh, how am I going to get a client? And I know this. I teach this.
Mm-hmm.
I talk about it all the time.
Yep, you do.
Actually doing it,
Mm-hmm.
darn, it's hard.
But I think when you have a business, we do tend to make things harder than they are. And, getting clients shouldn't be that difficult. But what I think is difficult is the piece where we think we have to be all over social media and we have to be live all the time for people to see us. Well, so that's where the hard part is. We're making it hard. But the conversations are easy.
Simple.
Right. At the end of a conversation, if you say to somebody you've had a great coaching session or just a great conversation, all we have to do is ask, and I think that's the hardest part for so many of us. Mm-hmm. It's just asking. If you don't ask, the answer will always be no.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think not only asking for help, but asking for client engagement, asking for the sale, mm-hmm. asking, why are we doing this podcast? And our mission has kind of changed, just like our business has grown, your business has grown, my business has grown. But on that way up, that's so crooked that we always talk about, we've kind of realized we're great together.
Mm-hmm.
But how much greater could we be if we niched down what we were saying together separately to attract our ideal clients? Now, I don't know whether that's another podcast or whether it's, just more live videos on social media. I don't know what that looks like quite yet, but I know that my ideal client sometimes might be yours,
Mm-hmm.
and yours sometimes might be mine, but we're definitely not all the time the same exact person.
Right. So, right. And although our message is, it's very clear, like life and business, it's that, the detours and the twists and turns that you take. But I agree. Our mission in the beginning was very focused, and our businesses have evolved. Let's just say that they have definitely evolved. And even though we talk about so many of the similar things, we really are kind of veering off in slightly different directions. And that's great, because that's part of the detour. That's part of the climb, and let's be very clear when it comes to the climb. You're not to the top of that mountain until the day you take your last breath. So you're constantly climbing in life, whether you're working on your career, whether you're working on, your spirituality, your exercise, your fitness, any of those things, you're constantly moving forward, sideways. I mean, I know right now, the last couple of months, I actually went backwards in my fitness. And moving forward, the next couple of months are going to be really tough because I pulled a muscle in my arm. Well, if I can't lift the weight, I can't do a pull-up. I'm trying, but I'm hurting myself. So, and I'm a fitness person. I'm a health and wellness coach who can't exercise the way she wants to do it. So what do I do?
Please.
Right.
You can either eat cookies,
which are one of my favorite things.
I know. Or you can, and I wish I had followed this advice when I had my neck injury years ago, because the same thing happened. I couldn't teach spin anymore. I couldn't teach boot camp anymore. So I did nothing.
I see.
And I think that's the same message, if you're doing a podcast, if you can't have what you want, do something. If you can't exercise the way you used to, do something.
Yeah, absolutely. I got on my treadmill this morning and I ramped up the incline to 4. Mm-hmm. And I did some business. I talked to a friend while I was on, and I went 4 miles in just over an hour. And so if cardio is what I can do, if I can do some squats and lunges, great. Upper body exercises just aren't going to happen. And it just is what it is. So I'm in a bit of a detour when it comes to my personal physical fitness. And I'm actually okay with that, because I think we have to be okay with the phases in life that we go through. So, crooked climb, we have ups and downs in our lives. This is just a down cycle in my physical fitness.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be a down slide in your physical fitness.
Absolutely.
It could just be, you have to adapt, and you have to do things a little bit differently. Maybe now you'll take those cold showers after your workout.
You do remember where I live, right?
I do.
I know you do. Minnesota and cold showers all right.
Cold exposure outside? Like, could you?
You know what? I can do that, because all I have to do is walk out my back door, which it's snowing again.
So, that increases your metabolism so much. So if you walk out there for 1 minute in the morning, it's almost as good as some pull-ups for your metabolism.
See, I love it. The coach is getting coaches. The coach is getting coached. I love it.
Yeah.
But that's what we do. That's really what we do. We support each other and we coach each other. And I think that's why the Crooked Climb has been as successful is, we're supporting each other and coaching each other while we're supporting and coaching others too.
Well, what I am really excited about most is I've had this new client for a couple months. She's a brand new coach, and shout out to her. You know who you are if you're listening. Um, I have mentored her in a really unique way, and encouraged her to do her coaching practice the way that it feels good to her. And the difference that I see in this person, because she's doing things the way that it feels good to her,
Mm-hmm.
it's really lit a spark in me after being a coach for 13 years. I'm like, wow, this is really cool. It doesn't have to be the same way everybody else does it. It doesn't
Mm-mm.
have to be the way the books or the guru tells you that your coaching practice is supposed to be.
Absolutely. Because otherwise, why are you unique?
Well, well, I know we know that on a
Mm-hmm.
fundamental level, but do we really know it and embrace it, or are we still posting on Facebook because we think we should?
We're all posting on Facebook because we think we should. But it's funny that, we're talking about this. So one of the coaches that I have followed for years, her deal is, you really work on your one-on-one clientele. That's what you do first and foremost. And then you go to a group program and then expand out. Well,
Mhm.
I love working in group programs because I like the energy in a group. I really do. I think, group think people, ideas flow really nicely. And, as a coach, I don't have all the answers. Like as a coach, my role is to ask you the questions so you answer your own questions. I just kind of pull them out of you. And that's what I love about group coaching is there's somebody else asking questions and pulling those answers out. They always say, two heads are better than one. And so this particular coach, like she just kind of shakes her head at me like, do it this way, because that's how she has been incredibly successful, which is why I've been following her and why I've worked with her in the past, because she is incredibly successful. And I do follow some of her programs and her advice. But what I want to do with Living Healthy List is so different from what I wanted to do when I was Denise, your health coach, and I had my coaching practice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I think that takes guts to stand in that. I know what I want to create and I know how I want to create it, but it's different than what
Mm-hmm.
everybody else tells me to do. You heard me say at the beginning of this call, I gave away 5 coaching sessions. That's 5 hours of my time this week that I gave away to people I want to coach, my dream clients that I meet in my network or that I'm connected to.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my husband thinks it's crazy. I have friends that think, "Oh my God, you gave 5 hours of your time away. Why would you do that?" Well, one, it's really fun, but two, this is how people who've never hired a coach, who've never had a coach before, who
Mm-hmm.
have only done online programs or group programs, who've never been coached one-on-one, brain to brain, intuition, insights, all that good stuff. And it's what I really admire about what Living Healthy List is doing, because I love to do it like that.
Mm-hmm.
You love to do it like that, obviously, because Living Healthy List is going to have a coaching membership,
Yep.
which is so cool. And when I look at what you're creating, I admire it. I'm
Oh, thank you,
passionate.
Suze.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm passionate about what you do. That enables, I don't want to work with someone who I'm not passionate like that
Mm-hmm.
about what they do.
Yeah.
And I
I
think
agree.
you're the
I
same.
agree. And I think that's important to always remember, for you and for me and for everybody who's listening, because if we are just working with clients or doing a job just because, we need the money, they showed up at our doorstep, whatever it may be, that absolutely brings you down. The energy, the frustration level goes up, your energy goes down. I had a client years ago who absolutely sucked the energy out of me. And she didn't know that was her energy. And so I had to really prepare for those sessions, and I'd be wiped out afterward. 1 hour session, and I was pooped, because people that you bring into your world, whether you're working with them, whether it's a personal relationship, a business relationship, they absolutely affect your energy level, your frame of mind, and your insights too. When you're working with somebody who's not, if you're working with somebody who is, in a negative mindset, or, oh, woe is me, all of a sudden you kind of find yourself negative, just because that energy has been sucked into your world.
Well, I think that's one of the hardest things as a coach or a therapist or a doctor or anybody who's dealing with people in crisis or illness or trauma, trouble. Anytime that happens, most of my clients, I'm dealing from the positive. I'm very lucky that way, the nature of what I do. But gosh, it feels heavy if you spend a day from one person to the next, or even in a group of negative, troubles or things to conquer. And one of the things that I'm wondering, moving forward with our respective ideas, you have the Wonder Series, you have free coaching Fridays that are going to start happening, where your different coaches are going to have live coaching. I love that. I'm excited to participate in that as one of your experts.
Yep. And all of that starts in January. So we will run the membership and everything starting in January. New year, New year makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely. And I've brought back my coffee chats that I had before COVID, which I'm really excited about. I had the first one week before last, and I have another one scheduled next week. So 2 a month, 2 coffee chats a month with an entrepreneur that I love and I want to introduce people to. And, I think I only stopped doing it because I was busy, but I love to do it. And it was great outreach and great networking. And, you talk to other people and you share the video and they share the video. It's great.
And you just said a curse word. You said the B word, busy.
What? Oh,
busy.
Yeah.
What I like to think, and I've been really trying to think about this more and more, is rather than being busy, we have a full schedule. We are fully committed.
Because of my full schedule, I wasn't able to do the coffee chats. And now the way I've color coded, Pomodoro method, all these productivity hacks that I do, that has enabled me to have more time open to do things like that kind of forward your content creation, your creativity, your networking, all in one.
Right. More importantly though, Suzanne, those coffee chats, oh my God, where am I from? You love doing those coffee chats. They bring joy to you and into your business. And it's really clear. And that, I think, is an important piece for all of us to remember. We need to be doing things in our lives, in our businesses, in our careers that we really enjoy. Now, there are parts that just suck. I hate doing accounting and all that stuff. My accountant is just like, Denise, you got to figure out a better way, because I don't like to do it. I'm a coach. My background is nutrition, not spreadsheets.
Yeah.
So when we do find those things that we truly, truly enjoy, that we need to make sure that those are priorities on our calendar, on our color-coded calendar.
Yeah.
So I want to real quick, as time is running on here, I would like for us to give our audience a couple of just quick 3 bullet points. Remember this, remember this, remember this from what we were talking about on the Crooked Climb, how life and business is not linear. Suzanne, start with 1.
I would say, remember to be flexible. Remember to be open to change as it comes.
Mm-hmm. I would say what I just said a minute ago. Include the things that bring you joy into your life and into your business. They may seem like, it's fun or frivolous, but if it brings you joy, it will bring joy to everything else that you do. I'll give you the last one and then we'll close up.
I love that. And I would say, lastly, make sure that you have time in your schedule for your self-care, your meditation, your exercise, your healthy eating, and getting up every, 20 or 30 minutes to stand up or get yourself a standing desk.
Yes, because we need to remember to nourish, move, and be.
Yes,
With that, Suzanne, thank you. This has been it's always such a joy to chat with you. But we are at the end, at the top of the hour here. Remember, everybody, there is another diet workout and program every single week, every single day. You can waste so much time and so much money if you're constantly following these programs and following these new gurus and still be stuck. Our method here at the Crooked Climb is simple, it's easy, and it's focused. It's 3 simple things: nourish, move, and be. And that will maximize every aspect in your life and in your business. Keep on track with your health and wellness on the Cornelia Stephanie Media Group app, KSMG app. Suzanne and I are both featured in the app, and which gives you access to all things that you need right now to live and create your best life. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next second. So today is the second Friday. So we'll see you on the 4th Friday of November. We'll see you then.
Thank you for tuning in to The Crooked Climb with Suzanne and Denise. Life and business are not linear. Your go-to solution for honest, reliable, and unbiased information you can use to master your life and business. To connect with Suzanne, visit thetailoredconsultingagency.com. That's tailored, TAYLORD. And to connect with Denise, visit livinghealthylist.com.